For this specific video, I'm going to suggest for you to watch the whole video first, so you'll understand how to work with zero mesh, how we are going to do to orient the polygons in a better way. And after we finish our tests, you can apply that to your character. This is to avoid your computer to crash and to go faster through the process, so your work will be more agile. We're going to mask this part over here. Let's turn off this painting for a moment. With this brush over here, Ctrl W, so it will be a different polygroup. What are we going to do here? Through polygroups, we're going to give ZBrush more precise guides about how we want the polygons to behave. We need to have a very defined orientation, so it will have a better quality. How to do so? We're going to make some masks. We're going to paint areas, for example, we need this area here as one polygroup. Ctrl W, done. We're going to do the same with the mouth. We're going to do the same with the face. This part we can hide. We don't need it now. And let's see how it would go if, with this geometry I have now, we go through zero mesh. In this case, we're going to activate an option called Keep Groups. That's going to tell ZBrush not to touch these polygroups, and it's going to leave them as they are. We're going to make some other polygroups, one for the mouth, Ctrl W, and one for each eye. Here we have all this area, but we need to refine a little bit more. Let's go with freehand. Okay, let's go with zero mesh and see how it goes. Done. With this, we have a much more organized geometry. We could even generate another polygrouping here in the eye area. But we see that the orientation is way better. Well, we're going to combine this polygroup here in the head with the one in the neck. Ctrl W. Okay. We're going to see the painting again. I'd say we'd better paint this ear too. We don't want to go with the risk of generating defects just to protect polygons in certain areas. Well, we have here 4 times as much polygons. I even believe we could use less polygons in hands and feet. What would happen if I go with a density of 2.5 in this? Let's see what happens with the new polygroups we have. Oh, damn, it worked pretty well. Well, it works really well in here. Maybe we'll have to combine other polygroups. like this in the ribcage. But we see that, at least in the face area, the polygons are very well formed. They are really well oriented. Even I believe we could generate another polygroup closer to the eye area, closer to the eyelids, so it could improve this area. We're gonna make it in a fast way. Mainly, we have to combine the ribcage completely. It's important to have only the amount of polygroups we want. As many polygroups we have, think of it in this way, and that is, it's gonna cut it. It's gonna define certain areas that we're not going to need. So, for example, these divisions here over these legs, I don't think they are as necessary. This feet may be one polygroup, so we can generate a cut in here. Same with the arms. Basically, what I did here was to organize the polygroups better. So we only have the cuts where we really need them. For example, these wrists are fine. The fingers, the ankles too. But let's leave only the polygroups we are really going to need. As we said, we can do these ones around the eyelid. Let's turn this off again for a moment. And paint these areas. Done. We'll go with another polygroup around here, around the mouth. And go through the last sewer mesh. Let's see how it's done. We can compare this model we already have with the one we had before. And we see that, for example, in the mouth area, the polygon's amount is pretty higher. I'd say a lot. And this comes perfect, because we'll have to make mouth details, so these polygons are perfect. For the eye areas, it's the same. We have more polygons. We have more here in the middle. These combinations I show you in Zero Mesh, keep groups and use polypaint, are very, very useful when we need just one mesh to have a very good polygon flow, so it has better details. There are other methods you could use. For example, one very characteristic of video games is to take the different pieces and to separate them in different subtools. When is this good? So you can more easily go into details in certain areas. Other method very used in video games is that you take the main pieces, the head, the arms, the hands, and you separate them in different subtools. And by doing that, it's way simpler to go into the look you're needing. Dividing this into different subtools is way easier to organize the pieces. There's another method used a lot, and is to take bigger pieces and to divide them in different subtools. Again, in video games. The head, the hands, arms, mounted in different subtools, and is much easier to organize the mesh in those cases. But that's made mostly because these characters have clothes, and you can't notice the cuts and differences in the geometries because the clothes cover them. But for a character like Hawk, that may be a little more difficult because of the lack of the clothes. Maybe just shorts in most cases. It's a little harder to make the cuts and to be gentle about it. That's why I think this method I'm teaching you is very good for this kind of characters. Now, what else? Just a projection exercise in which we are pasting the details of previous models onto this one. And that's what we're gonna see in the next video. I know this video was a little bit long, a little bit complex, so to say, but we see the result is worth it.